Welcome back to Flowmo. I'm Jake, and in this tutorial, we're going to import a Figma design into Flowmo. We'll first dive into the prerequisites you need to understand before importing a file to Flowmo. Then we'll address fixing issues inside Figma. Next, we'll import the mobile design and fix issues there. Then comes the desktop breakpoint. Finally, we're going to go over things you might want to consider after importing your design. In this tutorial, we're going over a landing page template from the Figma community by Veha. The link will be in the description. Okay, let's get started. Here we have an open Figma design with all the breakpoints for each device: mobile, tablet, landscape tablet, and desktop. First, we need to install the font. Since Figma is just a prototyping tool, it's okay to use your own fonts and pre-installed system fonts. However, when we're talking about websites, we need licensed web fonts. Another thing to keep in mind is that the font should be served to all viewers. This is why the font needs to be hosted. We'll head over to Figma and find out what fonts we need to install. If I click one of the text layers, a pop-up will appear, telling me I have 5 fonts to install. So let's install them in Flowmo. Here I have a brand new project. If I go to Settings and scroll down to Web Fonts and hit the plus button, I can upload the font from my computer. Once I upload it, the name of the font and the font weight will be automatically populated. I'm going to click Add Font, and we'll do the same for all other fonts. In some cases, the font weight is added to the font family name. We need to make sure to remove the weight from the font family name and choose the correct weight in the Weights menu. Great, I've added all the fonts just like I showed you. If I create a new text, I can see the first 2 fonts are the ones I install. Let's check it out. Yeah, it works. Let's check the other font. Okay, great. Now we're ready to import from Figma. I'm going back to Figma. Here, I'm clicking the Resources page. Once there, I'm going to the Plugins tab and searching for Flowmo. The first option is our plugin. Let's click that. Okay, now we see an error that sometimes pops up. This error means we have 1 or more objects with no fill and no stroke. They're completely transparent. Unfortunately, Figma has a hard time exporting these elements, even if you try to export them as SVG. It's just how Figma works. So, we came up with a solution. You can select all the problematic objects by hitting the Select button. Obviously, it selects them, and now you can address the issues. You can either add fill to them or just delete the objects altogether. After fixing these issues, if I go back to the Flowmo plugin, the panel opens, and you'll see we have 2 buttons. One is to copy the full page to the clipboard, which means everything you have here. But we don't want that for now. We'll go with the second option, which is to copy the selection to the clipboard. Let's start with importing one of the breakpoints. We'll select the mobile version and click the second button. We'll wait a few moments and head back to Flowmo. Now we're inside Flowmo, and all we need to do is either paste in Flowmo using Command or Control-V, or right-click and paste from Figma. We'll wait again for a few moments, and now we'll have our design. Let's check if everything looks as it should. It looks okay, but I have some things I want to correct before continuing. Here, if you can see, it imported a yellow stroke for some reason. We don't want that, so we can easily cancel it. Select all the cards with the stroke, then go to the right bar, turn on the stroke, and turn it off again. That's it. Here we have a problem with the gradient. Let's see what happened. Okay, we just go to the background and search for the correct layer. Okay, that's it. I think it's okay now. One thing to mention is how to fix problems if you import icons or graphics, and they don't look the same inside Flowmo. For example, I have 3 icons here, and for some reason they're cut off. The solution is simple. I have the frame that holds the 3 buttons. If I go to the right panel, it has a clip path. Once I uncheck that, it's okay. However, sometimes we need to fix issues with icons that are a bit off. Let's take this YouTube icon, for example. This icon wasn't properly imported. We can go back to the Figma design and import this single SVG again. Let's click it and highlight the YouTube icon. Right-click it. Copy as SVG. As you can see, it says Copied as SVG. I'm going back to Flowmo, going to the social frame and hitting Paste. Now I can delete the old icon, and that looks better. I can also import it as PNG if I prefer. Right-click, copy as PNG. It says it's copied as PNG. Now I can paste it wherever I want. So now it's an image I can use wherever I want. Let's continue with the desktop breakpoint. Back to Figma, we'll select the desktop breakpoint. Click the second button. Copy selection to clipboard. Again, it's going to take a few moments. Once done, I'm going back to flowmo and pasting it again. Right-click, paste from Figma. Sweet. Now we have 2 breakpoints. Here's the stroke problem again. Let's fix it. Select all the layers with stroke, go to the right panel and turn it on and off. Just like that, we solved it. Everything else looks quite good. Let's check the design together in the live website. We'll hit the play button and see how it looks as a final website. Let's check the mobile breakpoint. If I go to mobile width, it looks great. However, it's in fixed width, meaning if I resize it, it doesn't look as good. Let's go to the other breakpoint and check the desktop. Looks quite good. However, again, it has a static width. We can easily solve that. Select any of the breakpoints, go to the Properties tab on the right panels, and click the Adaptive Design button. Let's do the same for the desktop. Let's preview it again. As you can see, now it fits correctly to the screen size. Amazing. Let's see the mobile view. Yeah, pretty awesome. Now we can proceed to connect the 2 breakpoints. Stay in the Properties tab on the right panel. Go to Connect as a breakpoint. Click Pick to connect, and click the other breakpoint. Boom, they're both connected. When I play with the width and go under 1600, it's going to jump to the mobile breakpoint. To fix that, we need to go back to the Design panel and turn on Pro options by clicking the Pro button on the top bar. As you can see, multiple options have been added to the right bar. Here, I can specifically say when the breakpoints change. We'll select the mobile breakpoint. I want it to be from a minimum width of 0 to a maximum of 767 pixels. Then, click the desktop breakpoint. Here, I want it to be at a minimum width of 768, without limitations to the maximum width. Let's preview it now. If I shrink the screen width, it's going to stay at the desktop breakpoint all the way down to 768. That's exactly what we wanted. We're almost done. Now I want the website to look alive, so let's add a slider to all 3 of these cards parents in the mobile breakpoint. Currently, they don't do anything. It's all static. I want them to be interactive. I'm going to select the parent of all the cards. Then, I'll go to Interact in the right panel. Click the plus button. Go to Trigger and select Slider. That's all you need to do to make a slider. However, as you can see, we have more than one card showing at a time. So let's make it happen. First, let's center the slides. Then, we'll set slides per view to 1.5. Let's see it in action. If we scroll to the slider, we can see it's working. Okay, great. Now let's do the same for the second and third sliders. Select the parent of all the cards again. Go to Interactions. Hit the plus button. Click on the trigger and select Slider. Here, slides per page will again be 1.5. Select Center Slides. I also want to loop it. Let's do it again for the third one. And that's it. We are done. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for today. Be sure to check our guides on our community website. Stay tuned for more tutorials, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us via our support email at support@flowmo.design or via our help widget. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.